Guess who's back?
Personally, I haven't been a fan of the bubble ever since Lou Williams got in trouble for getting some wings.
Stop it.
Yeah. I'm over that. I'm not gonna keep on making it where folks can't be out here talking about how much a man love a woman. It perplexed Solomon.
You know what? The doors in the church are not open. Can we
Oh my God.
go? Okay? Clearly, we're not getting over. The show is off the rails.
This is Erica.
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that on me.
And Carly.
What did I say?
Carly.
Okay.
Let's put it in the comments.
Just a couple of alphabets wrong. Okay.
Hey, there's two totally different pieces.
He didn't get him to
But
go.
we ain't saying Wingstop. He ain't stopped at Hooters.
No, he don't got to.
He ain't stopped at
He don't, because the Lou Williams wing ain't at Wingstop.
Right.
Could have got
It
some
ain't
Lou
at
Williams.
Hooters.
What Carly Sade woman?
Well,
Let me get a little closer.
Come on, it.
Woman?
Hold on, Tim.
Oh no, hold on.
You fine.
No.
You hear me?
No, hold on.
Most beautiful thing.
On God's
On
green.
God's green.
I'm in. Come in the room.
Listen,
My goodness.
Well, bless his name today.
Donnie McClurkin say, I thought I knew you on yesterday.
Hey.
But I got
Yes, the wings were at a strip club. But if he wanted a specific wing from a specific location,
listen.
and he has a wing named after, I mean, I thought the man should be able to get some wings.
Yeah, with somebody else.
Oh,
Break it in.
okay.
I apologize.
You said
All right. Welcome.
I want to welcome you to what is probably the last episode of Sticks and Stones.
Mike.
This man gave black babies to a racist white woman that thinks she's Nigerian.
in America, we all supposed to be the body of Christ, but we have black churches and white churches, and we all have white preachers that you can clearly see the issue here, but they'll still justify it from their pulpit and say it's the word of God.
The fact that someone can get in the pulpit and make you think, hey Bishop, I know you about to get me. Let me get my comment out.
My problem, Faye. You went and bought BlackBerry shares, which means you knew that they were pushing up everything else. And you ain't telling me nothing. BlackBerry? Tim, when was the last time you saw anybody with a BlackBerry phone?
Now, the stance of this show has always been: when you right, you right, and when you wrong, you wrong.
In the flesh, look who's back. Guess who's back? Yo.
Yeah.
What's happening, people?
Hey y'all. Hey Diddy. Hey Tarika. Hey y'all.
The show's dedicated to you.
Erica is back in the flesh.
Tim
Ladies and gents, we waiting on one more. She coming.
to be here in a few.
She coming. So she coming. So
Yeah.
as soon as she get here, we gonna be good. You know, we give her a lot of grace because she has double duty right now.
Listen,
So,
it's a real thing.
so she on the way, y'all. Don't worry about it. She on the way.
Hey y'all.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sticks and Stones. We got a doozy for y'all today. I don't know if y'all remember last week, but last week there was a topic that we wanted to talk about. We couldn't talk about it because he wasn't on. He on today. Now we talk about it.
So it's on.
We here until then.
Hold on to your lily white hats.
I know y'all want to get me worked up tonight, but I'm grateful, and I'm just happy to be in the service one more time. Amen.
My.
She has her teacup, but I got my red Solo cup. It's going down today, and it's going down.
It's gone, but I'm gonna drink it every now and then. Okay, it's gone though.
Lord help us.
Catch me
Help
on the
us,
ship.
Lord.
Let's go ahead and get some introductions in here. Ladies first.
All right, so hey y'all, I'm glad to be back Brother Elkins. Okay, so hey y'all. My name is Erica, aka Grace Girl. I do my very best to find space for grace in the place. I am happy to be in the service one more time, y'all. Didn't have to let me live. Come on, somebody. Hi, Mama.
Hey, Mama Jenkins.
Mama. Hi, I love you. I want to also say for the record, I've been getting a lot of text messages, private messages, some, wishing me well and all that, but some people are convinced that I have blocked them on social media. I swear to you, I have not. I have left social media. I did it over a month ago. Okay, so I am not on any of those platforms, but you can still, get a hold of me. You can always see me on this platform. You can get a hold of me at wesoofficial@gmail.com. If you have any questions about homeschooling and life and love and the pursuit of happiness as it pertains to family. Okay, so I haven't blocked you. I haven't done any of that. I'm no longer on those platforms. Okay, there you go.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Chips Ahoy, Almond Joy, Checkerboy Floyd. In the place to be. Hope everybody's doing well. It is not a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It is very cold. It is extremely cold. If you're anything like me, you've been shoveling snow. You know what I mean? And it's been extremely cold, but I know what you're thinking. And you are right. I am ecstatic because the devil thought he had her. My sister got jumped by Marion, but she got away. And Erica, I had a song in my spirit, and I gotta, I said I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but I got this little 88 keyboard right here, right? You know what I'm saying? And that song say, millions didn't make it, but I were one of the ones who did. Yeah, millions didn't make it, but she was one of the ones. She was just one of them.
Hurry up and let Faye.
And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to the Lord, because I don't know where I would. Thank you, Sister Michelle. I do weddings, bar mitzvahs. I do, openings of doors. Anytime you need me, I'll be there. I'll probably bring my little keyboard, and we can roll. But Erica, I miss you so much. I don't know where I would be without you in the world. All right, I don't know where I would be, and I'm just so grateful to God. Thank you, Jesus.
Ma, don't say sing Tim to
Thank
that.
you, Jesus.
Don't do that, Mom. You're being petty.
Can't encourage it.
Yes, on God's green earth. Woo!
Lord, somebody just start talking quick. Get my baby in here.
Woo!
She coming. She said she logging on now, so she coming right now. We hold it down for when she get here. When she get here, we going straight in, man. We going straight in. What you do?
So since you're talking, who are you?
I'm Zoe. That's it. I'm Zoe. It's simple. It's 2 letters. I don't have all the fancy introductions that you have. I don't have a fancy backdrop. I don't have a fancy.
Oh, we is really.
But you know what? I'm here.
Went in already.
Right.
Went in already. Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
So it's all good. For a while, I thought it was your house. I thought it was your house for a while. Until I learned the truth.
Hey, Faye.
You don't see that little crease right there that you ain't earned up?
Hey.
Get Zoe as far away from me as possible now. Get Zoe as far away from me as possible right now.
I got to see that up close and personal Sunday. Did you lock it?
No, these some
twists.
These just some twists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He didn't put some Hawaiian silk on his
right now.
He didn't put some Hawaiian silk on his baby hairs, and now he want to talk. But I'm all right now. All right now.
I use the same shape moisture shampoo you use, Doc. Ain't no difference.
All right.
I use Shea Moisture
But
on my
we
husband's
use
beard.
Shea Moisture. We don't have no Hawaiian and silky baby
Yeah,
hairs
don't look
laying
like
down.
that when I use
Hey,
it.
I'm
We
trying
don't
to get-
have
I'm
a
trying to get on,
bang hanging down. We don't have it.
No.
I'm trying to get on YouTube channel.
You're glistening. You're giving more than I am.
Glistening all over your forehead.
Right.
I
You
see the
need a
glory all in your face.
you need a male division, okay? It took me 3 months to get some beard conditioner.
Oh,
You
stop
need a
it.
you need a male division.
Just stop it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can see.
You Faye in the city, he's in the neighborhood. He's
All right.
Have a man's
He's
channel.
on the corner.
inside.
Listen, and you know the women's like the well-groomed. When you start a channel, honey, you gonna get you some.
The Zoe on the block.
That ain't what we trying. That ain't what we trying to do.
Listen, come on. It's
Listen.
just a byproduct of who you already are. It's shining on you. It's shining.
Shining.
It's shining on you.
They
It's
already
shining.
lining up. They already lining up outside the door in the snow.
Got it.
You understand me?
Got him in different area codes.
My God.
Got it.
We keep his nails manicured.
Every day of the week. Every day of the week.
Speaking of, speaking of
Not while
nails
we're here.
being manicured, how about them Rams? Yeah, I got my
Hey, I don't have no manicure nails.
I got my blue for the Rams now.
Hey, I tried to tell y'all to hop on the team. Y'all had a chance. Y'all had a chance to go and jump on there.
My
Listen,
husband was like, "No, we a Rams household." I'm like, "But we going back to Texas soon." He's like, no, we with the Rams." So he was
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you
overjoyed.
something. The Webs are prophetical. We moved to California. The Rams said, "Here we come." Too.
oh my
The-
God.
The only reason I wanted the 49ers to win because I didn't want to hear Tim's mouth at the end of the game. I'm like, I wish they can just pull it out so that Tim Clark can go radio silent for about 2 days, and we can just get on with our lives. It did not happen. The Rams won,
Yeah, they did.
and
Look.
Tim Clark is
I
still.
had a praying grandmother.
Right. Hey, listen, I was bugging out in the text message though. Like every change of possession, I was tripping out.
I'm like, y'all praying or not? I'm like, what's
My
going
emotions.
on?
I'm like, they don't want to win the game. They don't want to win this game.
They don't love God.
I was like, y'all ain't in here praying. Y'all ain't praying.
I was because I was like, I wasn't in the mood for DJ to come home in a bad mood. It really made him pout.
I
like
wasn't
a
in the mood
child,
for
and I
Tony to go
was-
back into a depression.
Oh goodness, yeah, man. It would have been bad, man. It would have been bad. But you know, millions didn't make it. But Rams was one of the ones that did.
Ray, don't get in there with him. Don't get in there with him.
Millions
He been
did, man.
really, he been out of hand
That's
tonight
the
with that
song. That's the song of the day. It's the song of the day.
Could we go on? We never got
Yeah.
to introduce nobody else. Sir, up at the top, would you let us know who you are, please?
My name is Lee. 3 letters, 2 of them are the same. And today is a very, very special day because I get to do what I do best, and
Just trolling.
I will definitely. You know what? I'm not even gonna fight it today, Faye. You know what I'm gonna do? Once I change the characters on y'all, I'm just gonna put my hood up
See?
and let
He
the
already
game
and
and
let
Tyler,
let the
I
games
already know
begin.
Alfonso
Yeah.
a menace to society, and now you looking the part.
Let the games begin. That's what I'm gonna say.
okay, can
So,
we
This was
Faye,
gonna-
go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we're gonna just go and dive into it.
get us out of here, Tyler?
Oh yes, hey everybody. Sorry I'm late. This kid is praise God. But anyway, hi, nice to see y'all again.
Don't blame the baby. Don't blame the baby.
No, listen.
Hey, she
So let me
pregnant.
tell you what really happened when you want to talk about safe spaces and all.
Mm.
So I fell
Here we go.
asleep and I woke up to a call from my husband. And y'all know pregnant people and our food it's a very important relationship. And so he decided to take the burden of grocery shopping off of me, and he went to the store. But he wasn't quite confident in the list that I sent him. So he called me on FaceTime, and I had to go through the store with him. And I'm like, dude, I have to get off the phone. And so he's like, but I need you not to be going off when I come home. So that kind of pushed my schedule back a little bit. So my apologies.
That was a whole mistake when he said he was gonna go grocery shopping. You should have
Facts.
known.
Thank
That
you.
was you should have known that was a train wreck on top of a car fire on top of a plane.
You should have made that brother a scrapbook. That's what you should have made him.
He got
With
it
all
right.
the
And
pictures.
So, like yesterday, I wanted some ice cream so bad, but y'all know, of course, with our weather, we couldn't do it. But he had to go to work, and it's a Deer Burgers on the lot. So I told him, give me some rainbow sherbet. He's never heard of that. So that was one of the items. He was like, I'm not hanging up until I have the right thing, because I'm not going to hear your mouth when I come home. So yeah, that happened.
Listen.
Look, you should have bit the bullet on that. You gonna hear her mouth regardless, because you ain't gonna get the right size. And if you didn't get the right size, it's not the right vendor. If you didn't get the right vendor, look, man. Hey, Tyler. Hey, no, I'm with it. That's why I said it's a mistake, because I've been on that grocery run myself, and
it's like y'all be making stuff up. Like they don't even go together.
He was like, "What is that?"
Like we were in the same. Like I say, I'm gonna go run in and get it, and she was like, "No, I want a specific brand," and that brand was like all the way in the far corner of the grocery store, underneath the cobwebs and stuff. Like she want that brand, but okay, it is what it is.
It's got to be that one.
Mm-hmm.
I also just wanted to bring up that I had ice cream 10 minutes ago. It's about 72 degrees here. It's been fantastic on the weather.
You know what, Erica,
I hope you stub your toe when you go.
I really, you know,
when you get up from here.
That wasn't for you, Faye. That was for them, because earlier they kept bringing up, the weather, how cold it is. And I was like, I'm having a tough time.
I truly, when you get up from here, I hope you just hit it on the side of the bed. And then
don't let it happen. Please don't let it happen.
I know it's Cali. It never rained, but I hope your hair get wet too. I hope your hair get wet.
I hope it just rain at your house.
Rain all on it.
The hood got a
spirit. That hood got a demonic. Take it off, because you pronouncing curses and everything. Now stop it.
Hey, it is what it is. You brought this on yourself. I shoveled snow for 2 hours today, and I didn't even get the whole thing done. It was mess. It was a mess.
Too cold. All that mess on that other post that day we was talking about the wife shoveling, and what did he do? He took his black behind on outside and shoveled. See, he was true.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because in the Chronicles of the Nosy Neighbors, the people across away from us, they had their 2 daughters shoveling the snow, and I looked at it. Sarai looked at it. We looked at it, and we looked at each other. And you know what? She had a problem with it. You know what I did? I minded my business, because I minded my business.
Them daughters,
it ain't my house, and I think that the mother sent them out there on purpose.
Yep, get your butt out there.
Get up there.
Send them out there to get herself a gift while they was outside. Sometimes you do have to take drastic measures.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hoods off.
Speaking of drastic measure, let's take a drastic measure from this topic and go on to what we got. Who gonna introduce this though?
Tim, you the one that introduced this to the chat.
Oh goodness,
you the one that introduced it.
Do you at least have the video?
I have it, but there is some alternative language in it, so can't.
Whoa.
Okay, it is some alternative language.
We didn't find no clean version.
No, it ain't no clean version. It's a TikTok.
Somebody might have bleeped it out. Come on. All right, go ahead. I've had 3 weeks to say never mind. Go ahead.
I gotta pull it all in my mind. So there was a video. This video seemed like there was a couple sitting down. They was having a conversation.
Like and share this video with everybody, please. Share this, because it is about to go down. Continue.
Get somebody in the room right now. Tag somebody. Share it. Put their name, and if you're on Facebook, put their name in there. Say get over there.
Put the name on it. Send it. Send it
to send it to somebody. Send it to somebody that it relates to, but don't put their name. Just send it. Send it to them.
Send it to somebody that they really like getting into debates about relationships and what a man and a woman are supposed to do and what they don't do and what happened to them.
Troy, ready?
Let's go, Troy.
It's serious.
Let's go, Troy.
Serious.
You got to pick your sides. All right, here we go. So there was a video. This video was a snippet. It was on TikTok, and it was probably a snippet of like a podcast, right? And it looked like it was a husband and a wife having a conversation, or if they weren't husband and wife, they were really close friends. And the question was, do you believe that women take criticism well? And her answer was no, right? That was her answer. And then he asked, do you believe that in a relationship there's a safe space for women to receive criticism, right? And basically he was saying that that's not the reality for men, regardless of if there's a safe space or not. We gonna get criticism. The criticism come to us first, from all ends. Yeah, so I think I should have watched the video again. I didn't know I was gonna have to quote it. I thought we was gonna watch it. But that's the essence of the video. Do you guys believe that women take criticism well? And do you believe that there is a safe space in a relationship for men to express their criticisms to their spouse or to their significant other?
Yes. And then to add, just because I remember that part of the clip, one of the things that the man said was when delivering critique to women, he felt as if that the critique would then be weaponized, that she would get sensitive about it and then turn around and use that as a means to kind of start an argument about the information that was presented. So it was just like, not only can I not really say what's going on, there will be backlash if I do present that information.
Mm-hmm.
And then he clarified what information he wanted to.
He didn't clarify. He gave an example.
He gave an example.
Don't jump off the cliff now.
It was an example.
It was just an example. Talking about that he clarified. No, that's the part you want to beat him over the head about.
What is happening?
Go ahead. Go ahead. E. Go ahead.
I'm trying to let the people know that he wasn't as vague as it may seem like we are being. He definitely gave an example, fine, of like how he feels a woman would not respond well to the following list.
Okay, go ahead.
If a man sat down and said, look, your cooking ain't that good. You're not giving me as much sex as advertised when dating. Your body, what did he say? Your body, you could lose some weight, something like that. And all of that, he was saying, I don't think women would take that criticism well. She responded, I think that if I come to you and I ask you about those areas. Yes, darling, I can do that for you.
She wants the TikTok.
Let me see.
We really need to play. It's tough.
I wish we could play it. I didn't know it was some choice language. I forgot.
And so she said that the woman said, I think that if I bring it up to the man, I'm asking him for what he really thinks about, I'm asking him, giving him permission to, tell me what he thinks about those areas. She said, but like, if he's just bringing it up like that, that may be hard to receive. And he said, and I want to thank you for being one of 7 million, women in the world who would be mature enough to handle such a conversation.
That's what he said.
And that's where he lost me. When he said, it was the rare situation that someone would be able to receive that critique, and that it went off the rails from there.
Okay, now she said this before he gave the examples that women would receive the critique. Now, I'm not trying to talk the whole time, all right, but I personally have seen or felt that certain criticisms or certain conversations were not. It wasn't open to be had, right? So unless it's brought up from somebody else, and then now we're gonna talk about it. Well, I've been feeling like this the whole time, you know what I mean? Or a certain person might feeling like this the whole time. Lee, Zoe, what y'all got? It depends on the delivery from the man.
So
y'all had nothing?
Yeah, so
y'all had nothing. Hold on, wait. Y'all had a lot to say during this group chat now. I mean, y'all didn't gonna leave me by myself. Now I can't be by myself, but if you ain't gonna leave me out here by myself.
I remember specifically what I said in the group chat, and all I did in the group chat will send a gif of people eating popcorn and enjoying the show. Now I can, you know what? Let me get some popcorn. I can do that.
Y'all ain't gonna leave me by myself. Go ahead.
Look,
Go
you're
ahead,
not by
Lee.
yourself. You're not by yourself, Tim. It's just that I didn't know
feel
where.
Alone.
No, okay, all right. Sometimes feelings can give bad directions. It's wrong
Lee,
directions.
put
It's
your
not.
hood back on, then you'll have more to
Exactly.
say.
No, I'll put it on once it, you know, I feel the spirit on me. But right now, it's just we just talking. So
So Lee only get the spirit when somebody get worked up. I see what this is. That's why I'm not. I ain't biting. But I'm gonna say this.
You say it, E.
You know, I think the reason why we're having a hard
swear I
time
love your
going in is because the way that the delivery, even in the video, was a ton. I really wish that we could hear. It's tough to do that without hearing it. It is. I will say though, I found it. I found it kind of weird that he was saying, you know, women don't take criticism well. This is where Lee got upset with me. When he said that women don't take criticism well, and then he went on to list the way that an example of if somebody sat down and told a woman, you know, you don't cook that good, you could stand to lose some weight, you're not giving me sex the way that blah blah blah. I said that I feel like I don't think people in general take well to a list of flaws being laid out before them like this. To which Lee responded, you know, he said I sounded like somebody responding to someone saying Black Lives Matter and the other person saying all lives matter. He went on and said I sound like there should be a raise in pay for women. And the other voice says there should be a raise in pay for everybody. This is how I was attacked. All because I said I don't think that in general people respond well to a list of flaws being pointed out all in one sitting. So to me, I mean, Lee, explain yourself. Explain yourself, because I'm not like White Lives Matter and all the lives matter. I'm not like that, okay? And you explain yourself.
I just want everybody to take into account what is happening here. Number one, I did not disagree with anything that you said, Erica.
You called.
It wasn't a disagree. I was not disagreeing with you. I said it was a true statement. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna verbatim say what I said. Okay, verbatim. Now I said a lot,
yeah,
but here's what it boiled down to. I said, I don't think you're receiving what he's saying, opposed to hearing what confirms your position. The topic is women's reception to criticism. And there is no allusion to methods or practice. Your statement of saying nobody takes criticism well, or a lot of people don't take criticism well, is a deflection, not a furtherance of his conversation. More of it is you are taking the wheel of the car and swerving to a different highway instead of going to the way that he was talking about it. Now we can talk about how everybody doesn't take criticism well. That's a conversation. But when he was specifically talking about, but
I clarified it was when it's presented the way that he presented it. I don't think it's a fair assessment to say women don't take criticism well, when I think what he really meant to say is women don't take criticism well from me. Sounds like that's been his experience.
Well, but however you evaluate his presentation, it does not take away from the fact that it is his presentation, and for you to say, okay, well, I'm going to go this way instead of the way that he said, like instead of, well, he really meant this. Well, no, you don't get to say what he meant. You have to talk about what he said. So
right, but what he said is based in his own personal experience, yet he's passing it off as the universal truth. then what are we doing?
Right. So
I'm
let's
saying-
deal with that universal truth. Let's deal with
Yeah,
that instead
because
of creating
It's not
a different.
universal truth.
But
Other men
let's,
have that
let's
same
debunk
experience.
it and let's debunk it and talk about it instead of saying, well, everybody doesn't take criticism well. That's
No,
a
but
broader
I didn't
conversation.
just leave it there. We can debunk and discuss it fine, but I didn't just leave it there. I started by saying that, and then I continued to talk about what constructive criticism does instead. So at the end of the day, a list of all the ways you're failing is not a constructive criticism. It is not.
So okay, again, we can talk about his methodology, his presentation, and the merits of what he said. I was specifically talking about the response to him and saying, "Hey, women don't take criticism well." And then the very next line is, "A lot of people don't take criticism well." That is what I was responding to, because one could argue, and he could argue, that is exactly what he's saying when he says women don't take criticism well. That is exactly what he's saying. Like when it's specifically pigeonholed to a group, and then you make that group everybody. Again, that is a furtherance of what he's saying. Hey, it can't just be this group; it has to be everybody, because this group can't take criticism well.
I'm just asking, do you know a group of people that respond well to a list of criticisms with no plan for how they are to fix them?
Okay, so then I'm gonna ask this question. I'm gonna answer it with a question, right? Because the second question he asked was, after he said, "Do you believe that women take criticism well?" He asked is, "Do you believe that there is a safe space for men to be able to express themselves, right?
Yeah.
Critically or anyway in a relationship, right?" And sometimes that can be the case where men don't have the safe space to express themselves, to where the point of maybe the negativity could be surrounding you, or it could be about a woman a lot of times. And she responded and said, okay, yes, but when I bring it up, well, I think that's bogus. You can only receive criticism when you bring up, you say, okay, now this is a time I can do this or whatever. That's bogus, because you don't hold back your criticism on me. Others don't hold back their criticism on me, and you willingly take it, right? That's what I'm saying.
I don't think that's fair. Okay, so let me put it in a different way. So Tim and y'all are both musicians. And say right after Sunday service, someone walks up to you and starts criticizing song selections and things like that when you didn't ask their opinion in the first place. Would that not hit different versus us having a group collaborative meeting and you say, can you give me feedback on my performance? How is that bogus to say that?
Okay, can I respond? All right, so it's bogus because in a relationship, I'm only playing for one person, not playing for 10, because that one person might have, if I'm playing, let's say after church service, I'm playing amongst a whole congregation. That one person thought that my selections was bad, but somebody else could have thought, hey, this went really well, or somebody else could have, hey, this went really well. And then the other side is I have critiques of myself already, right? That's one thing. But in a relationship, it's a two-man race. It's two people dealing with, so you really don't have nobody else to go to with those concerns except that one person if you're going to get it fixed. So if there's no space for me to come to you to for real? Why? Okay, anyway, if there's no space for me to come to you to deal with that, then it won't be dealt with. Now, honestly, you have the right to come to me if I'm playing and that was bogus, that was crazy. I'll take it. I honestly would. But all I'm saying is, if it's a two-person deal and there's no safe space for one person, but then the other person there's a safe space, then that's bogus. That's the part that's bogus.
Okay. What I'm saying to you, what I'm asking Tim is, My trouble is the blanket statement that I'm still struggling with the statement that women don't take criticism well. I find that very, for him to say that, I just find that bold, especially when he makes sure to double down by saying, when she said, well, I do, blah, blah, blah. He said, well, I want to thank you for being one of 7 million women that do. I think that is just,
It has a negative
I don't agree with that at
connotation
all.
to it.
It does, because at the end of the day, I feel like I know people who make it a point to have discussions um, often with their spouses about things they want to work on, asking questions how we're doing, relational check-ins, all the things. And yeah, it's not good for you to walk up and just start telling everybody how they're blowing it, but having a discussion, um, having a planned discussion that you guys have set aside time. We're going to do this. We're going to check in with each other. I'm going to, you know, ask you what I can do to improve, however, whatever. That happens in healthy relationships all the time.
Yes, and then I think that another thing to consider is that every relationship needs not only emotional safety, but consideration of the mindset of the person when you're speaking to them. If someone, like say my husband, he just went grocery shopping for me, like I said, but then as soon as he gets home, I start
Mistake.
going off about you left some socks on the floor. That's not the right time, because then you can turn around and impact that person like I don't feel safe. So I feel like there is moments where you need to consider your partner's mindset before you start critiquing them, and ask them, is this an okay moment for that? Just like even when it comes to friendships, my friend may be going through something and I don't know it, but then I pick up the phone and call them and start like emotionally dumping on them, and they're not in the position to handle my burden right now. And so I feel like you also need to consider that in a relationship, is this person in the place emotionally and mentally where they can handle critique? Because sometimes it's just not the right time. So I think that you need to set those parameters where it's like, okay, is this a safe moment? Are you going through something? Can you receive that? Or should we just wait until it's a better time?
I got it. And I might need to put my hoodie on halfway through, but it is what it is. Faye, that was lovely. That was lovely. I wholeheartedly agree. I give you a standing ovation. I'm sitting down, but it is. I'm standing in my heart. I'm standing in my heart. Here's what it is. Two things can be true. It's not mutually exclusive. So the hasty generalization of all women is problematic. I agree with you. But the statement of women don't take criticism well, when we know that all people don't take criticism well, it's not technically an untrue statement. But what we can do is analyze, okay, women don't take criticism well, but you know who's horrible at expressing themselves? Men. Why are they horrible at expressing themselves? Because there are no forums or practice that they get to do it. Like, give me where do men get to practice telling their spouse or significant other about stuff that bothers them? Go.
The same place that women get to practice it, in the relationship.
You in the game, that ain't practice.
Well, I'm just trying to tell you, both are trying to figure it out in relationship. Listen, if to answer your question, if you ask,
but ladies have more practice at expressing themselves emotionally. That's what I'm trying to say.
Whose fault is it?
Are we blaming? I'm not casting blame, but there is no space for men to express themselves emotionally as it currently stands socially right now. There is none.
That's not true.
There are
choose not to.
So tell me where would they go?
It depends on where they want to go. They can go to their therapist, their partner, some people talk to their parents, some people talk to their friends.
Tim, I think you're muted, bro.
Yeah, you're muted. We can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
If you're asking, is there space? If there is space, right? He's asking, is there space for a man to be able to express himself
emotionally without? So I'm defining, Tyler. The question that of practice is, I can get to do this with no repercussion of, okay, like this is gonna blow back on me. Just like if I was to miss a shot in practice, well, it's not an actual result. So it does not affect the results. I get to do this. I get to get better at it. Therefore, then I go into the actual relationship, and I know how to express myself emotionally. I don't think men have that space socially right now. Now you're saying, Faye's like, whose fault is this? Well, we can't assign fault because that it's too many factors to just point your finger at one group of people or one thing that happens to say, oh, this is why. No, there's a lot of stuff that's why, but it's still true, and men have to accept that. Men have to accept that they're horrible at expressing themselves emotionally. Men have to, and that's it. But it can't be like, oh well, everybody's bad. Like, no, men are bad at it. So
I don't know, because then that would be like, well, sorry, I wanted to answer his question. Lee, I understand what you're saying, but I want to answer his question. He said, is there space in a relationship for a man to express himself emotionally? I say
Right.
yes. In a relationship where relational and emotional health has been fostered in that relationship. So to say a man got to learn in a relationship, a woman has to learn in a relationship too. And just because she knows how to open her mouth and talk doesn't mean that she knows how to express herself effectively. Sometimes a woman can say something that dig so deep, that hurts so bad, that it makes the man feel unsafe. Sometimes a man can do the same thing, weaponize his words and all the things. So the practice of interrelational conversation and setting boundaries and doing all those things, that work is done together. That work is done together. Why do you say women can do it another way and men cannot?
So the question that I raised is, where is the space that men, with women, I understand how they can do it, not in the specific relationship, but just have practice of expressing themselves emotionally, period. There is no space for that right now that men have. And you're saying that, oh, well, it happens in the relationship. Well, in the relationship is game time. If I express myself emotionally and I hurt you, that's a result. That's a result.
Can you explain? I think what Tyler's asking, can you explain where you say women get the practice, men don't? Where are women getting the practice?
Yeah, because it
Where-
seems to me that, like she said in the video, if she asks for feedback, it seemed like that would be the safe space because she opened the door and asked. But that was called bogus earlier. So
It was bogus because when women feel, they speak. They're not saying, "Is this a good time for me to talk to you? Is this a no?" When it's time, the time is when I'm feeling like it. That's when it's time. Oh, please. Good job for being 1 of 8 million. Okay, 2 of 7 million.
That is really
Welcome.
on behalf
Listen,
of a lot of
3 of 7 million, guys.
that
Welcome
is
to.
not okay.
As much
Please.
as y'all think we say, I think me and Erica can both agree. There's so much that we don't say to people.
Exactly.
You guys are very unique.
That's not true. Okay, Tim, Lee, what's my boy name? Lee, you think Soraya is also in the unique category as well?
She's very unique.
Okay, so then pretty much every woman in y'all life y'all respect is unique.
It's
Negative.
just
No,
everybody else,
no,
like,
not
Okay,
every
so
woman,
help me
but
figure something out, because guys, women, I think
You're
I think
generalizing
that-
too. Let's be.
But you don't think that I'm sorry, you don't think that guys have to say something and then learn that wasn't okay? You don't think women have to do the same thing, say something and then recognize that wasn't okay? We all are not learning that the same way.
true. But women. Okay, so again, it's a fresh conversation, so I can recall what I'm thinking about it. So women, emotionally, you guys are way more versed than men right now. You guys, like, in terms of if it was a race, you guys have a 300-meter lead when it comes to men and their emotions. So when you talk about, oh well, I bite my tongue and there's stuff that I don't say and all that type of stuff. Okay, awesome. But men don't even know, even if they wanted to say it, they don't know how to say it. And if they did open up their mouths to say it and then they hurt your feelings, they feel like it's going to come back on them tenfold because you coming back not just with his stuff but with your stuff that you've been biting your tongue about, and he's gonna catch the backlash. So he would rather do that on the front end and not say anything.
Now this is you guys, your confusion. This is called revelation. Because this is the world that you live in. Listen. Hear what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying.
Okay,
Let me finish my statement.
I try to hear what you're saying, but
let me finish it. You can try to hear it, but without talking. Let me finish, okay? Because this is a reality. What he's speaking is not a figment of his imagination, okay? This is how men actually do feel. It may not make sense. You may not fully understand it, but it is a reality. I'm trying to tell you now. Zoe just clicked out.
Zoe just clicked out. He said he can watch it. He can watch with his popcorn somewhere. Right. Exactly.
Now go ahead, E. I want to hear what you got to say, but I'm telling you, this is a reality, 1,000%. Go ahead. I want to hear you.
okay. What I'm saying is there are two different indictments happening. If you want to say that you are in a society that hasn't made it conducive for you to be able to express yourself, you can say that. But then to turn around and indict the female, saying that she is the reason that you can't express yourself in the relationship, you got to choose. You don't get to just say it's us when it's a society that you're saying that has made men feel as if they're not able to process emotion. Even Deshauna is saying now that it's from a child that, sometimes men are told, people are told, don't coddle the boy, don't, let him be tough, let him be a man, this whole thing. So if you're saying that that's the issue, that's one thing. But my confusion is not revelation. My confusion has to deal a lot with the discussions that I have with my life partner. So I'm just trying to see, you're saying, when you say stuff like men don't know how to express themselves, they don't know how to talk, they don't have the freedom, they never been, I'm not receiving revelation from that. I'm just saying I definitely have a different experience.
My experience is different too.
Yeah.
Right. So again, those two experiences, those two realities,
and y'all
they exist in the same
that's
space.
Y'all 3 out of 100 million, but I don't.
No. What we're saying is it's a rare trait. It's a rare trait to be receptive in that space because it just doesn't happen that often. Now you can say, hey, if you're in a healthy relationship, if you guys have done the work and you guys are having those type of conversations and opening yourselves up to that level of critique daily and often, therefore you can get better at it. Well, then yeah, but
both parties
there are way more. Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you open yourselves up. That's yeah. So those two realities exist in the same space. This person can feel this way, this person can feel this way, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. But you can't dismiss somebody's perspective out of hand. Like, I'm not trying to dismiss your experience out of hand. I'm not trying to dismiss what you have to say out of hand. All I'm saying is this is a reality that guys go through in order to go through relationship, like to feel like they're in a relationship, so to speak. So
Mama Elkins just did.
I would disagree, Mama Elkins, but hey, if the man that you got don't care to express himself, then you gotta go. You gotta go. Yeah, but I think I be on Brother Elkins' comments. He can express himself well. He can express himself very well. But I think they do. But again, there is no place to.
I see what I'm gonna hop on what Mom said because she right.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
What you saying, Faye? You finna say something?
I was gonna say that there was even a conversation a friend of mine and I had the other day where she was saying that it was based off of TikTok, where this girl was going on a rampage about how it's hard to have women friends because women can be catty and things like that. And a friend of mine agreed with that, and I told her I felt like they're thinking it's gross because to me, your friendships are a direct reflection of you. And so if you're feeling like all women are catty and things like that, I challenge you to do some internal work. And so I was telling her that my experience was different because my circle is different. I surround myself with the type of energy and vibe that I want in my life. That's why my friends are encouraging that, as crazy as all my friends are, if I call any one of them right now, they can start praying for me. And it has to be with who I chose to be around. And so I feel the same thing happens for relationships. I feel like if someone is feeling like they have no safe space to vent, my question is it that all women are like that, or the women you choose? And maybe you need to upgrade your choices.
Yeah, we can have that accountability lesson too. But if his experience is all the people that he's all the women that he's talking to don't take criticism well, then again the common denominator is him. And historically, men are bad at expressing themselves. So he might have a communication language gap with what he's trying to communicate and what actually comes out of his mouth. So he might have a problem. But all that, where did she go? Erica, where you go? Where you doing?
She right there. What are you talking
You're
about?
right here.
Oh,
She's talking to her children.
Mobile ministry.
oh, she's talking to her chick. Oh, yeah, that's.
I'm trying to charge my stuff up. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
But listen. Okay, so
fell
let me
out.
ask this. You know the scripture that says that husbands should dwell with their wives according to knowledge. Do you think that perhaps the situation is that maybe we just misunderstood? We're really misunderstood it because we allow, and I mean just rhetorically, right? We allow society or relationships we've seen on television or conversations in men's groups and all these things to dictate to us the way that we are to be in relationships. But quite often, you're married to or in relationship with that person, and how you can receive from them and they receive from you, and how all those things happen. You know, only your partner can tell you what they like, what they don't like, what works for them, what doesn't. And my issue was not being part of a plan. And this is, I guess, this is like work. This is just everything. Not being part of a plan and telling me, listen, it would be better for me if we did things this way. This whatever say you don't cook well, you don't whatever. Unless the next sentence is you don't cook well, so I'm gonna put you in some cooking classes, and you're not really being as sexy as I want you to. So I'm getting ready to give you a situation on how to fix that, and whatever. But just doing a whole list of things, you're blowing it for them. I don't think it's effective, and I don't think that. And when he says, "Well, then you're not safe," I'm like, what does safety have to do with anything? I think you're creating a lack of safety in your relationship when you just criticize your partner and you're not.
So this is the appreciation that I can have at what you're saying and how men would look at the exact same conversation. Mm-hmm. I agree with what you said with how he said it as well, but my evaluation of how he said it did not affect my response to what he said. What he said was this, taking what he said and just divorcing it from the messenger and the methodology. I'm just gonna deal with the message. Now, dealing with the methodology and dealing with the messenger, those are two separate issues too. Mm-hmm. And I can't deal with all of those at the same time. Now, if I was, my message would be convoluted, and I'm trying to solve world hunger with ramen noodles. I'm just dealing with what he said. What he said is this. And then my response to that has to be sequitur to what he said. Not how he said it or not who is saying it. What did he say? So that's how we look at the situation differently.
That sounds good, but here's what I'm saying. He's saying those words to a woman.
Right.
And so while men often have the ability to compartmentalize what they're saying from what they're thinking and how they say it, it's like a waffle. Women are a lot more like spaghetti, so kind of everything touches. So if you're talking to a woman and you want to know how to better have her receive you, but you insist on communicating with her the way that works best for you, you guys are going to always have a tough time communicating. Because just like with her, like Tony always jokes with me when I tell him something that I want him to change. He says, okay, he used to say, you don't have to say it, because I understand. He says, babe, land the plane. Just tell me exactly what you want. I don't need all the other things. And I had to learn that communicating to him the way that works for me didn't work for our communication. So
I have a question. I got a question for you, E. How long did you and your spouse work at communication before you both got to that place of reality is where, okay, this is what works best? How long did it take?
Well, for me, I know people joke about saying you're in your honeymoon stage when you first get married. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know what that is. Because right away, maybe it's just the way we kind of do it. You don't really live with your spouse before you get married, trying to do your stuff, do things a certain way. So it's a huge culture shock right away. So, just right away, I feel like was when we started working on it, because it wasn't working.
When did you get to that place, though? If you started working on it right away, how long did it take you to get to a place where you figured out, okay, this is how the sausage gets made?
I guess I'll say a year.
A year?
Yeah, to get to the point where he just told me, well, he was telling me right away, like, what you're doing, I don't need you to tell me the whole thing. Just tell me what you want. And, so it just took a couple of times. He would say, land the plane. And then now I know what that was. And then like vice versa.
I got you. So I'm gonna blow everybody's mind with this. Most single men don't even get to be with the same woman for a year. They don't get that exposure for a person like that work that say, okay, hey, this isn't working for me. I need you to land that plane, and you got to constantly repeat it over and over. And then for that year, and then after that year, you guys find out, okay, we got a rhythm. That doesn't happen for a lot of men, and it doesn't happen for a lot of women either. So again, women they are more versed at these conversations because they can talk emotionally with themselves amongst each other. Men don't have that luxury.
Whoa, but see, right there, what I'm saying to you is these conversations took place between us. So if there's a man that's not in a relationship for a year, there's a woman who's not in a relationship with that.
I'm saying
he's talking about just expressing his emotions.
Right. So how are you feeling right now?
How am I feeling right now?
Yeah.
Fine.
How many times do men, like I'm asking Zoe and Tim, how many times a day does somebody ask you how you're feeling today? Zoe is still eating popcorn, ladies and gentlemen.
You didn't ask me the same question.
I'm asking the guys right now.
But you didn't ask me the question you asked them. You asked me how I was feeling. Ask me how many times I got asked how I feel in one day. I
think the point is, Erica.
What are you asking?
I'm asking.
I think the point is that most times women don't have to be asked how they feel because they'll tell you.
Tim, that's not true.
It's not.
Why are you saying that?
Because your day and your sun up to sundown is dictated by how you feel.
That's not true.
What?
That's my experience of what I've seen.
So again, we're on two separate sliding scales. You may feel like, hey, nobody asked me how I feel enough. Like that, people aren't asking me how I feel enough. But I'm saying, relative to Tim or Alfonso, you probably have had the question, "How are you feeling?" maybe 10,000 more times than they have in their lives, and that's just fact. It's just fact.
My experience.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on, Faye.
You want to be asked that all
Faye,
the time.
hold on. No, you said what? You said what?
I also hear people ask me that if they see a change in my demeanor, like if my disposition has shifted, that's when I get asked, "Yo, you okay?" And then likewise, because I know my spouse, if I see a change in his disposition, I notice, "Hey, was work okay? You feeling all right?" But as far as just randomly volunteering my feelings or being asked, that doesn't happen as often as y'all think.
So what's up? What you?
This is
Erica
what's up.
Mama, Erica Mama, she cold. Erica Mama cold.
Okay. I think Lee, and even if you say Lee, if she doesn't tell you how she feels, she's gonna act it out.
Yep.
Right, and men won't do that. So again, we're on two sliding scales. And that's just it's about perspective. I understand. You saying, hey, we had that conversation in a relationship while we were together. I get it. But outside of the relationship, men will not have that experience ever. So while you may be just a toddler, they are newborn babies.
Having a
it's the same thing.
conversation with someone, having conversations with people, like even just you guys saying men have a tough time having conversations. It's hard for me to hear you guys say that. I watch men.
I'm a man. I'm telling you. Like I'm not telling you what. I'm a man.
But we watch y'all have conversations all the time. You are observed having conversations regularly at work, with comrades, with friends, with other things. And I think that if you feel like the only area that you feel like you're struggling though is in relationships, then you and your girl or y'all struggling together. This is a together struggle. Otherwise, she gotta learn how to talk to folks every day, like you gotta learn how to talk to folks every day. And then to say, well, everything y'all do is driven by emotion. It's just not true. It's not. That's the jacket we get, but it's not true.
Okay.
Right.
So
just my experience.
So
I just want to say this. We have spent quite some time on this subject, and although Tim brought it up initially, tonight Alfonso was the one who put it in the group chat, and he didn't set his tail here, ain't said nothing.
He didn't say nothing. He ate popcorn like he put in the chat. Just sat back and ate. And you know what?
Look,
I get it.
We gotta go, but I'm not satisfied because it's the other. I wanted to touch on the other topic.
Mm-hmm.
I really.
We talking about Kiki?
Yes.
All right, well, go ahead then.
I mean, can we get 10 minutes?
No, go.
Right.
Zoe
playing this elevator music.
Can we do our second closing? Can we do our second closing?
Zoe playing this elevator music.
Now y'all can
Zoe, turn the music off.
Can y'all put the picture up? Can y'all at least put the picture, the headline, please? People need visual aids.
Right, because not having that video messed me up. That people, they would have been able to experience what we heard and felt and saw.
Yeah, I sent it to a few people, but I didn't want to offend the Saints. That's why I didn't drop it right there.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna post.
I want to know how we gonna offend the Saints. That's why
I can't even remember. Did he said something vulgar? I can't remember exactly what he said.
You know what? Here we go. So here's the deal. So, I mean, never mind. I was gonna say I could play the video, but it's too late.
No, don't. No.
Oh, yes, wait till then.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's your headline. Me, I'm gonna give it to you.
Thank you.
You do what you want with it.
All right. Kierra Sheard sends female guests that come to her house to a hotel to keep them away from her man. She cited that she does not believe you need to have women around your man. In the words of Aretha Franklin, I don't want nobody always sitting around me and my man. Okay.
Oh, she said
She
that. I ain't know that was a song.
said she said that before she will let these women stay in her home. Now these are friends of hers. She has clarified. Before she let them stay at her home, she will pay for them a hotel room. They are not allowed to stay at home, but she don't want them getting tempted. She don't want her husband getting tempted to sleep with her friends. What say you, Sticks and Stones audience? What sayest thou?
I have so many
She said,
thoughts.
"Child, bye." You know what? I'm gonna go first, okay, and just get mine out the way.
Yay!
You know, I honestly don't have a problem with this. Okay, now I have thoughts about this or where it comes from, but I don't really have a problem with this. I mean,
Okay.
you run your crib how you feel like you gotta run your crib. Now, don't right. So I think it might come from like the Maddie Moss Clark, her mama. You know, because she did say her mama told her not to have all these folk by around her man. Okay. Now she does have a certain level of fame, and some people do. The friends do switch up and say, "Yo, you know, whatever. Try to get close to your stuff and mess your marriage up or whatever." I mean, however her thought process may be, it might even have something to do with some insecurities there. You know, she's on the heavier side. Her friends might not be or whatever it could be. It's the truth. It might be some insecurities there. But all in all, I do not have a problem with it. Plus, she got the money to send it to her. So, hey. Look, you asked me what I thought. That's what I think. There we go.
I made a mistake. I made a mistake.
See, you jumped into this water.
I made a
Go on,
mistake.
swim. Go on, swim.
I made a huge
Well,
Go
I'll tell
ahead.
you what. Let me say this: my grandmother was not.
No, I'm tired of you. I want you to know that. Go ahead.
I just want to say this: my grandmother was not plus size, and she was beautiful, but she also gave me the same advice. But that's also because she came from a different era. Her children were born in the 50s and 60s. She married this man early and stuff like that, and he was respectfully not a godly man. And so for that reason, she said, you know, I want to make sure y'all know, don't have no woman in your house. But it was birthed out of her experience based off his actions. And my thing is this: I would never marry somebody that I felt like if my friend was at the house, just we playing Uno, and I'm thinking you're gonna look at him sideways, I wouldn't want to be married to you. And I wouldn't want a friend that I felt like I had to second guess myself. Now, of course, I believe you don't give no room to the enemy. So would I let my friends stay with me for an extended period of time? Absolutely not. But if my best friend is in town for a few nights, I'm not going to say she has to go to a hotel because I need you to stay away from my man, because now you're making him sound like a 3-year-old who has no control over his impulses. So I understand the mentality, but I also think that if you have discernment in who you marry and discernment in the people who allow in your home, period, that this shouldn't be an issue.
And okay,
Shouldn't
I agree with that. I agree with that. But let me say this though. We're gonna get down to a little bit of brass tacks here. You know, you get married, you do all. You know, Bishop Baylor jokes. He always says when you're dating the CEO of Erica. You know, Jenkins. That, you know, you dating the representatives. Okay, so he often says, you know, when you get married, you know, that's often where you know it gets real. You see whatever, and there's some things over time. People change, stuff happens, and that person, you know, starts displaying some things about them that you like, oh, I didn't know this. Well, it's fine. My issue is with her saying her friends. Now, I'm not going to get down to no fame and fortune because the bottom line is people that like you, people in your circle, all that. But your friends, your actual friends, if you can't stay at my house, you can't be in my life, okay? If I can't have you around my spouse, my kids, you really not safe, period.
Period.
You know, you're just not safe. I mean, you know what I'm saying? that's what really Bobby was like. Yeah, I'll pay for them to go. That they ain't coming around my man. I'd say, but Boo Boo Kitty, if they would drink from that cistern, they got to go. If I even think that's something that's going on, I don't understand it. It's kind of like sometimes when when you expect it, you kind of realize the doctor tell you to pull a lot of stuff out of your diet, and sometimes you wonder when you're pulling it out if it's not good for me while I'm expecting. Maybe it's something I don't need to necessarily reintroduce to my body afterward. But I just don't. That's my issue with her is dang your homies. You can't trust your homies. I mean, I don't know.
Your mama is on it.
I can't. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna be bothering my mama tonight. Okay, I'm not gonna be bothered. I'm not. But I haven't had female friends. I think we talked about this around Thanksgiving. I love to host. Mama, stop. I love to host. I've had women around my friends, my closest friends come in town, and if they need somewhere to stay, I just say, fine, stay with me. But to have a situation, I'm like, no, you can't stay here because you ain't gonna get my man. It's like, what in your house?
I wouldn't even want a friend that looked at me that way. Like, you feel like I can't be in your home because you think I would violate? Like, no.
Yeah, I don't think. What's going on? So, okay, come on. What you think, Lee? Tim, I heard you.
Yeah.
What you think, Lee? Come on,
I want
Kermit.
Zoe to go first. I want Zoe first.
Yeah, because Zoe ain't said nothing.
I want Zoe first.
All I want to say, there was a comment earlier that said, closed mouth don't get fed. My mouth been open this whole show.
Zoe, can you please?
Zoe, we're not talking about what your mouth is doing or closing. We asking about Kiki and sending people to hotels. Zoe, what you got to say?
So, okay, as far as the topic at hand, I think the reality is, if it's that deep, like if it's really that deep, you got to send people to hotels, y'all got some problems, dude. If it's really that deep, y'all got some problems. Like, and I'm seeing two problems right now. I'm seeing a problem of, what kind of friends you got, or like, do you really keep that kind of company where they're just gonna be on people like that with no boundaries? And then two, I see a problem of, do you really think your boy gonna be on your friends like that? Like, do you really think that if your friend spend the night, he gonna be tiptoeing to their room? I mean, that's how it is.
And that has to be what you think. That has to be what you think. Because be clear, are you keeping them in a box or something? Do you let them go to the gym apart from you? They got you don't even need a bed. We talked about this. You think you need a bed? You think you need accommodation?
Straight up.
You got me jacked.
Standing straight up. You hear me?
I'm just asking you. Do you keep them locked away in a dungeon?
That's why I think
live in California. When we go to the beach, I'm taking a risk every time. What we talking about?
No, but that's why I think it's more of her mama kind of. This is what my mama said, and my mama said is
maybe she
my mama's word is golden, and I'm gonna do what my mama said.
Yeah, she might have been saying that.
Yeah,
and I can see that because, and I'm sure with y'all, with two of y'all being in First Family, I'm sure that y'all can understand when you have a powerful man in a situation. Someone such as Bishop Sheard, that there are going to be people who don't have the best of intentions around you. But at the same time, that's where discernment comes in for your friendships. Like, everybody ain't your friend, so you have to know that. But if you are my tried and true friend, I don't want to have to look at you like that. But then on the flip side of this, man, woman, whatever, if it is in somebody's heart to cheat, they gonna do it anyway. Mm-hmm. Whether it's in your house with your friend or whatever, and
they didn't already planned it out.
To do something, they're gonna do it anyway.
Matter of fact, you send him to the hotel, he might go get you some ice cream like Joe Jackson, and what they're doing. Mm-hmm. He stopped by the hotel dock and
you already planned it out
and found a place for his wicked woo. I'ma go.
Yep. he didn't already saw the girl at Starbucks or at Panera Bread. He didn't already planned it out.
Doing?
Yep.
Mr.
Talking
Kermit,
about your friends.
Mr. Kermit, I want to just real quick.
I want to be real. I'm not gonna be before you long. We talked about insecurity. We talked about insecurity.
I'm mad that Tim said she's a little heavy. I'm so upset with that comment. I'm so mad.
But but that is symptomatic. That is symptomatic of what First Lady talked about. That she senses like it's out of insecurity.
I was with the insecurity. Why he had to say she is in the head?
Because weight plays a factor into self-image, and self-image plays a factor into insecurity.
Sometimes that's
some
reality.
people. You're right, but it is a reality.
I'm a big brother. I know what that is. Come on now.
Okay.
Y'all
All right.
ain't look. Open the criticism.
But still,
No safe space for criticism. Can't
Okay. Look, I'm not gonna stay there. I'm not gonna stay there.
What?
I'm not gonna stay there.
There we go.
All right. We gonna keep it going. Now we can talk about the lack of visual trust with her spouse, but I'm not gonna stay there. We could talk about the inherent lack of accountability with her bad choices of friends, but I'm not gonna stay there. Really, where I want to put my heads up.
Granny said take it off.
Take that hood off, yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna take it as soon as I say this, because y'all can't see my eyes when I say this. The question at hand is, if somebody's in your house and you are afraid that your spouse is gonna get with that person what he was supposed to be getting from you in your house. Now, here's the thing. I have never seen a full person steal food. Never seen it. Never seen it. Not never.
Oh, it's finna get bad in here, Doc.
It really
It's finna get bad in here, Doc.
Now, if he was to go outside of his vows, or go outside of his thing, or go outside of his marriage, to lay up with someone else in the same house,
Wow.
at the same time,
Wow.
where you are. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Did you
All right.
blame her if he
Nope.
do that?
This
No, I didn't.
Looking for a river in the desert. That's what
Really?
he wanted.
River in the desert.
So you think that? Let me ask you a question. So are you saying that are you trying to say to me
Oh
that
no.
Halle Berry and Beyonce was their husbands was malnourished, and they didn't feed them enough? Is that what
Do I
you're
need to
saying?
put? Do I need to put my hood back on? I said what I said. I didn't say.
Okay,
I didn't say in terms of names and stuff like that. I've never seen somebody that is full steal food.
Let me tell you something. I have, because let me tell you this. We're going to talk about literal food. There's this show called My 600-Pound Life.
Tell them again, Faith.
So
We gonna use 600-pound people as an example.
Really?
I didn't interrupt you.
600-pound people can't steal nothing. They can't even walk. What we talking about?
Listen to me.
What we talking about?
Let me finish. Now, on My 600-Pound Life, them people will stuff themselves until they are full, and when they are full, they will continue to eat. You know why? Because they have an addictive spirit. Okay? And so the same thing can happen in somebody's marriage, to where this person can be getting.
Let's continue on in this analogy, Faye. Let's continue this 600-pound analogy. Let's continue that. And, you had a 600-pound person that's gonna keep eating, and I guarantee you that spirit of gluttony that they didn't just get when they met you. So are you going to tell me that this person that who steals food when they're already full, they just got that spirit when they got with you, or was it already in there? Because I already told you it's a lack of accountability of bad decisions. So it's still gonna come back to accountability.
When you get through me, I didn't see a fat kid steal cake off my grandmama counter, and they was full to the brim. I didn't see Granny a skinny kid. I'm one of them. Feed me till I couldn't eat no more, and I saw a jar cook his Doc, and it was just something about how it looked and how it's on that high shelf, Doc. I had to get a bite. And when you get through with all what you say, it has got nothing to do with this boy ain't full enough necessarily. Now stop.
Look. You gonna use what you did as a kid to justify what somebody was to do as a grown adult? You better than that, E. Come on.
You the one said a man is like a child.
I said I didn't say.
Said he can't even talk.
I said emotionally, not with his inhibitions. Don't come at me with that. Don't come at me.
There was a conversation on Twitter today about, I'm not even going to say their name, but there's a famous rapper that a lot of people find to be attractive, and he was married. He was faithful in his marriage until his wife got cancer. And as y'all know, when certain things happen in your body, your drive ain't where it was, and you probably can't even physically perform. And so he stepped out. And he said the only reason he stepped out was because he was going through that situation. So in a case like that, if the friend was in the house because he is hungry, are we really gonna be okay with what he did?
So we just liken Kiki to a chemo patient, and we liken him to.
The point is for you to say that a man will not step out unless he's not fulfilled at home.
I said what I said. I didn't say, like, again, y'all putting more words than what I said. I said I have never seen a full person steal food.
I have. Just because you ain't seen it, don't mean it don't happen.
It means they wasn't full.
He just bringing up a possibility.
So, look, you just gave me a possibility. You just gave me a scenario.
You talk about all the time, Erica.
You just gave me a scenario in which the woman got cancer. Therefore,
what if the spirit of greed, Lee? What if you just
then that greed spirit was in him before.
Don't manifest themselves right away. What are you saying?
Okay. All right. So we gonna say he developed a greedy spirit in the marriage. That's where he developed it.
Are you saying that when you marry your spouse, you fully know them in and out from beginning to end until you don't?
Go ahead.
There are things that happen. Now, y'all know trauma sometimes changes you, shifts you. Things happen. That don't mean, well, she should never chose a guy that would cheat. This happens all the time. People don't know. That's not okay.
Well, send the friends.
We are talking about this scenario. We're talking about this scenario. If he has the spirit of greed and he's gonna do it anyway, he gonna go to the hotel and knock her down there.
And so it's not about that. And we agree there, but that's not what you're saying.
We not circumventing. We talking about in your house. You are sending people away from your house because you don't think he'll cheat. And I'm saying I've never seen a full person steal food, especially in the same place that he freely ate. So no, I'm saying that if you gonna send a
God in heaven, I don't know what to say to this comment. He's saying, God.
I'm saying send him to the hotel.
There have been men that go right out of Lord. Okay.
We're not talking about men. We talking about this specific case. We're not talking about.
You're indicting Lee by saying I'll explain. Okay, I'll say this. Explain what you mean. Hold on, Tim. Explain what you mean, Lee, by saying I never seen a fat kid steal food. What's your point?
No, I didn't say fat kid. I said
I never seen a full person steal food. What you mean?
I never seen a full person steal food. Therefore, if your desires, if your nourishment has been met, you are not going to go illegitimately and go steal what you don't need. Therefore, if you're rich and you Bill Gates and you go steal from the dollar store, that doesn't make sense, does it, E?
But y'all,
you know wealthy people steal all the time.
I'm saying it don't make sense if you're taking what you already have. What we're talking about a sexual endeavor outside of the marriage resulting in infidelity. If you already have what you're going to go get outside of the marriage, and that's already readily available to you, the only thing that would motivate you to do so is if that was in you already. It's not just it is what it is.
That's not the only thing. I'm gonna tell you like this, Lee.
Tell me this.
Send them to the hotel.
Wait a minute. We are on a journey as humans, born again believers, on how to properly manage our deficits. Your spouse can only take you to a certain level of satisfaction, period. So if you go, I don't care if it's sex, I don't care if it's food, I don't care if it's gambling, your full satisfaction is not wrapped up in your spouse. And for you to say that in order for you to step outside of your situation, there must be something that your spouse is not providing, when you can have all kind of soulless issues that have never been satisfied. And I may not have known that in the time that we dated because you were able to hide them well. So don't go there, Lee. The woman cannot be, or the man cannot be fully responsible for your full satisfaction. It don't exist. That cannot be the case.
Send them to the hotel. Send them.
We are
Send
talking
them to the Ramada,
about
Hampton
this case.
Inn, Holiday Inn.
It
Send them
does
to the
not
hotel.
matter if you send your friend.
We already
away.
did that.
Send them to the
It does
hotel.
not matter if you are doing everything that you know to do to satisfy your partner if that spirit is in them. It does not matter.
I agree with
However,
that.
in this case, Kiki has been married what, a year and a half? What?
Maybe.
Maybe.
She got maybe like,
Ma-
At our
yeah.
first anniversary.
Yeah.
So just a year.
Yeah, that's about
So she's been married a year. If you are going to die on the hill of saying that she's justified in sending her friends away.
I don't think that way. I said I didn't think that way. Lee.
I know. I know you said it to think this way, but you're saying that for me to, you're actually putting words in my mouth to say that I'm putting it on her. No, I'm not. I'm saying that there is not, for me, I have not seen a person in the relationship who is fully satisfied. And I think y'all gonna have to go back and figure out what it means to you, what that means. But not going to go outside of the relationship to get what they were getting inside the relationship. That's what I said.
True. And it's not true.
if they fully
Go ahead,
satisfied.
Alfonso.
If they fully satisfied, and y'all really just gonna have to get outside your jaded minds. But all right,
So are you.
Go ahead, Zoe.
I'm not in it.
Lee, go ahead, Zoe.
If they
Zoe,
fully
please talk.
satisfied
If they fully satisfied by who?
in
By
their,
their
within their
spouse.
marriage. If they fully satisfied in their marriage, then they would not step outside of it.
Guys, fully
The
satisfied.
only reason you would step out your marriage is because you're not fully satisfied.
But the wife is not the spouse. Sorry, is not fully.
I didn't say you
responsible
was.
for your
We didn't say that.
satisfaction.
I didn't say she was.
that. You said that. We didn't say
So,
that.
what I'm saying to you is, what is the point? If a person lacks satisfaction in life, then they can make all kind of dumb decisions. Why
We're
are we
agreeing.
saying-
And we're agreeing. And in that satisfaction, he wasn't satisfied a year ago when you walked down the aisle and said, "I do." Zoe, your hand is up.
Go ahead, Zoe.
First of all, I just want to say I love you guys. We are, one big happy family, and I just love each and every one of you. D, I love you. Faye, I love you. I just love you guys. Here's all I'm gonna say. 'Cause I ain't really said much today. Here's all I'm gonna say. I hear what we're saying about people being full and satisfied. But I think there's a reality, which is some people just like to have sex with people. And they don't really care who it is. Now, I will also say this, to back that point up, I think, we can have this conversation and say, well, if he was satisfied in this and he wouldn't do nothing. That might be true in some worlds, but, 2022, Doc, some folks is out here slinging. They don't really care. So,
I say, but those people that are out here slinging it that don't care are not satisfied. And it has nothing to do with their spouse. It has everything to do with them.
I agree with that, Tim.
Okay, so we agree. If a person is not fully satisfied, they will step out of their marriage.
If they're not fully satisfied in life. But my
Yeah,
thing is, when you say fully satisfied in a marriage, then it's saying that within that marriage, the responsibility for their satisfaction within that marriage doesn't lie on them and their own satisfaction, but rather lies on the spouse. So what
Not
I'm saying to you
necessarily. That's
is
not what
there's
I'm
a
saying.
part-
That's the
there's a part.
implication.
there's a part but the beauty of marriage is that we get the privilege of running to one another to satisfy our sexual needs, right? But your full satisfaction is not the lot of your spouse. So when you say, and I guess I keep asking, if you say, I've never seen a full person feel food, right? What I'm saying is, what do you feel like contributes to the lack of fullness in the allegory that you gave? What do you feel is the contribution to that person's lack of fullness?
I can't speak to this specifics in terms of the lack of fullness specifically in this relationship. However, there is something lacking if I have to do if I have to send people away, my friends, if I'm putting myself in a scenario, I got to send my friends away because I'm afraid that they will sleep with my wife, then there's something going on there.
There could
whether
be something
with me or with my wife, there's something lacking.
There could be.
There's no
There
saying
could be.
there's not.
There could be.
Could be.
Because it could also just be an old wives' tale that you just choose to go with.
Yeah, it could
because
be
it was
a
passed
lot
down
of
to you.
things. We could be.
But even that is a lack. Even that is a lack. Me blindly parroting traditions that are not tried and true in my own relationship is a lack.
Well,
Because that's a lack of identity of the relationship.
What?
To answer Michelle,
Michelle, yeah.
She said she got that advice from her mother and she sticks to it, so that's why she does it.
Mm-hmm. I think what Sister Harbor said is real. I think when you're not satisfied,
Yes, Mom.
with the conversation, and that goes back to when we started this thing, in which dudes not expressing themselves. So instead of expressing you're not satisfied or expressing a desire or a need or whatever it is, you just go out and try to get it from somebody else. And I think that could be part of the problem.
Or you never have the conversation and just sending people away thinking that you're dealing with the problem.
Whatever it is, I think there's a lack, and that could be a part of it. It is 8:32, y'all. We're 32 minutes over the time that we said we'd be done.
I did my job.
I just want to put that out there.
I'm ready to eat, so it's time to go.
All right now.
Time to go.
Okay, well, we'll go ahead with the final words. Ladies first.
Bye.
I just want to say, because it is easy to misinterpret what someone may say or what their intent of their words is, and because language matters, I just want to make it clear to everybody that a person is responsible for their own decision. And yeah, we should not make room for the enemy. And yes, we should be 100% into doing whatever it takes to secure our marriage. But at the end of the day, if someone does something to you, whether it be stepping out, abusive, whatever, just know it's not your fault. Period. They are responsible for their own actions. So we definitely don't want to leave the show with that being on anybody's mind, that if their husband stepped out, maybe I left them unfulfilled. But we can't close like this. So I just want to leave that there.
My final words, I love Erica's mom. That's it. That's all I want to say. I love Erica's mom. That's what I want to say.
I do too. Brother Roland asking for Sticks and Stones merch, y'all. When we gonna get it done?
Sticks and Stones
I want my
Hey,
shirt.
it's coming.
I want my shirt to say what we talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, it's coming.
And I want to say, Sister Harbor is walking in the spirit with that.
She been in the spirit this whole day. She been in the spirit on the Lord's day this whole podcast. Now.
Indeed, honey, because that right there is wisdom.
What? What's your? Hold on. What you said, Sister Harbor?
Sister Harbor, her latest comment. She's in the spirit.
You may like because she might want all-nighters. That doesn't mean she should step out.
She's in the spirit.
Hey, but if you cannot satisfy as the man, figure it out. They got all types of stuff. They got all types of stuff.
Who's talking?
Got all types of stuff.
And that's my
Figure
final
it out.
word. You guys have a wonderful night.
Figure it out.
It's been
so
good.
Bad, it makes me so happy at the same sense.
Figure it out.
Good.
This is why I'm fools with you, nigga.
You know,
I'm just saying.
God has allowed us another day. He's allowed.
Hey.
What key am I in? One more time. One more time. He allowed.
Hey, that's for everybody. That's for everybody. That's for the men and that's for the women. Figure it out.
From heaven.
Figure it out.
Glory to God.
All right. Oh my God.
You gotta have confirmation.
Your spouse should leave from your table full.
Oh yeah.
I'm
I'm saying right now.
Shout out to my husband. He heard me say I'm getting hungry. He came and brought me some fruit snacks.
Look at that. That's what I'm saying. He want to make sure she's full. Come on.
Hey, he's just trying to butter her up so when she see them groceries, she don't, you know, flip some tables over there.
Say something. Listen, what I think and praise God that Brother Webb can come with a table and spread in the feast of the Lord is going on.
I don't want to know you like that, Erica. You see what I'm talking about? See, this is why we mute people's mics. This is why. This is why people's mics get muted. You see?
No, you triggering.
Listen, I ain't triggering nothing.
Me all day long today.
All I'm trying to do is sing us out. That's it. That's it, Don. We ain't got to know you like that. No more words.
No more words. Sister Neosha. God good.
Listen.
God good.
Ain't nobody trying to know you like that, bro.
You got to go.
Sheesh.
Look, how come he can use an analogy? I can't. I quote the scripture. You're mad at that?
Hey, look, we appreciate you guys for watching.
Right.
Until next time, sticks and stones may break your bones. Please
don't say nothing that she just said. No, whatever what you do.
These words might help you.
It's gonna hurt. Words gonna hurt.
Keep it happen here. Let him hear.
Lord have
mercy.
Come on.
But study to be quiet. Study to be quiet.
Mom said, "Come to me when you're ready to divorce."
Dang, man.
We got to go.
Peace.
Hey, look, we out of here, man.
Oh my God.
Somebody go get her mama.
What was that?